Hello, so this is my video with the analysis of my performance of the Chris Pierce simulation, and also to evaluate my managerial skills, especially in the class discussion during the group and during the work we did last week. So if I had to evaluate my managerial skills, I say that with the experience I had in my internships, especially at Procter & Gamble, I have it's quite easy for me to be able to prioritize events, what has to be done, tasks, knowing which is the most important task at the moment, what can we put aside, what can we divide the work on, how to delegate basically a task to each of the members. That's something that we managed to do quite well, and I managed to do quite well during the simulation. Also, I think I can be maybe perceived as a sort of a catalyst. I'm quite enthusiastic in the work I'm doing, especially in group work. I find it more enticing to work as a group because you're working all together towards a common goal, which basically allows you to motivate each other, but also to have multiple minds working towards the same objective. Allows different insights, different perspectives, which is also really important in these group projects. So I think those would probably be my top managerial skills, would probably be prioritizing and probably motivating, and just being able to see the bigger picture while working as a team. And I think that's probably the most essential part of a group work, is actually knowing or learning and knowing how to work as an entity, as a group, especially with different members of different backgrounds. You don't always have the same line of thought, so it's quite interesting to do so. Concerning AI and its use during the simulation, obviously we did use AI for some things, but it wasn't in a creative way. It was more as support, where we could actually put down our main ideas and see if AI could maybe add something to them that we may have forgotten about. It's just a bonus basically, and also allows sometimes to be able to restructure the ideas, because sometimes, especially when you're preparing a presentation at the end, you're not always very organized with your ideas because you have so many things. What needs to go first? How are you going to conclude? How are you going to do the conclusion? And AI can be quite handy, and was quite handy for us for the structuration of our presentation. So that is one thing that I could play that AI is probably very handy with. It's very handy for, especially in these situations. It wasn't there was no problem for the group to use AI. We all agreed to use it because it was something that allowed us to just to optimize our time, not waste our time doing something that we can just do much quicker with a computer. It's not going to actually take us much thinking and reflection. It's more something, it's just we have to do it. It's easier to get AI to do it than to do it ourselves, because we can use our time elsewhere on other things that can be more important and more interesting, obviously. What personal takeaway lessons can we extract from this simulation? Well, in the simulation, especially with all the emails, it was quite difficult at first because you're receiving all the emails at the same time. You try to read every single one of them and you don't know how to react, because it's just a lot of information coming at the same time, and you need to know how you're going to work around it, how you're going to work with it. And I think that personally, what I could take away from this simulation was the fact that I need to go through all of them, look at who sent them, what's the main takeaway from each of these emails, and from then on, especially when it's like the higher ups or managers, or it's a customer complaint, then you can prioritize, reorganize, and answer from there on forth, basically. So yeah, those are probably the best lessons I took. Were probably the organization and prioritizing. So yeah, I would probably, that's my the most important, the essentials, basically the essential takeaways that I could have from this lesson. So yeah, that's it for my video. I hope you're pleased with it. Thanks again for the simulation for the week. It was great. A lot of things that we learnt, a lot of things that we could use and apply in other projects for the rest of the school year, and then further on in work.